Rob Gregory is an AI expert and joins me in the studio now. Rob, good morning.
Good morning, nice to be here.
What do you make to that final comment then? You can't have a conversation with a robot?
Well, I think it's true that that's what we feel as humans, but of course we now can. We can have a conversation with a robot. We can go on to ChatGPT and ask questions and we can get a response. My concern is that people believe that to be a truth, whereas actually it's generated. It's not a human being speaking to us, so we need to be cautious when using AI.
And what do you make to this emotional reliance on AI tools like ChatGPT? You heard from a few students a moment ago talking about how actually they were speaking to the AI generated tool, whatever that might be, to help them navigate quite emotionally challenging situations.
I think, whatever your challenge is, whatever your problem is that you're trying to seek a solution for, if ChatGPT or other AI tools can help you in that, then I guess that is a net positive. The challenge is, and other people have mentioned, that we're potentially going to lose some human connection. The problem with AI is that it will generate a response based on what you ask it, but it will create a different response every time you ask the same question. If I asked you a question, name 3 things about Nottingham, you'll give me an answer. If I then say, give me 3 things about Nottingham, you would say, that's strange, Rob, you just asked me that question and I gave you a response. Whereas ChatGPT, it's a people pleaser. It will just give you another response and it will keep giving you responses and it will try and in effect make you happy, which I think is a challenge, and I think people need to be cautious around that. But it is a great tool and it can help people, as long as that, for me, is allied with human connections and we make sure we're still seeking the right support as well as, but it can certainly fill the gaps and help people maybe get started.
I think the thing we're hearing here, though, is perhaps especially amongst younger generations, the replacement of friendships and advice from a human being. And the thing is, we have to treat this with caution because we don't know what emotional response, I say emotional in inverted commas, that AI generated tool is going to provide, and whether that is actually safe when it comes to emotional and challenging situations. How do we navigate that? That feels like a minefield, but really something that I personally believe we should be quite concerned about.
I completely agree. I've got twin 8-year-old daughters and an 8-year-old stepdaughter. Open brackets, it's emotional, close brackets. And I do worry for the future. They are going to want phones very soon, and they are using technology in ways that, me as a 43-year-old didn't at their age. It is normal for them. But it is a concern because they need to understand, of course, as they grow up and use this technology, that it's still not a real person. And how can they learn how to use it safely and have it at arm's length a little bit and still seek out human connections and look for people who are going to be there for them? Because actually, in the end, ChatGPT isn't there for you. It's there for the big tech giants to make money, right? This is what it's there for. It's great, but there are concerns around it.
Do you mind if I ask you how it is as a parent having kids that can access something like ChatGPT or AI and essentially use that as a way to sort of be like, well, I'm right, actually, Dad, because I've looked online and actually this is the truth. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I'm a very strict parent, so I'm in that regard, I keep my children away from technology as much as I can. They do have, tablets and they do use age-appropriate technology. But I certainly, it's formative years for them. Their brains are developing and, they're in primary education and they're building friendship groups. And I certainly, as a parent, wouldn't want them to be relying at this stage in any way on, a robot, on AI. I just don't think that is appropriate. I think as things mature, and I think as education matures, there will certainly be AI input into their education. I'm working on a project with a set of teachers at the moment to build some technology for a school using AI. So that's a positive for them. But they're removed from it. There's still a teacher in between. It's a tool for the teachers to help build personalised handwriting classes for their students. But there's still a teacher at the front.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's really, really important. I think we need to keep humans at the centre.
But it's also a really important point, actually, is that what we don't want to do is talk about all the negatives, in inverted commas, of AI. Actually, from an educational standpoint, a research standpoint, I'm assuming there's a lot of pros. What can you tell us as an AI expert of the benefits of the technology?
Well, the benefits are huge and wide-ranging. I mean, there's scale and speed, of course. We can just do things more quickly with AI. And that's powerful for business, of course, because we can automate processes, we can make things more efficient, we can potentially get to better answers, and maybe answers we didn't know we were going to get to as only human beings, let's say. In education, clearly there's going to be research benefits for students. But we hear lots of stories about, students just using ChatGPT to create an essay, and that's not good, because how are then you being creative and using your breadth of knowledge and your lived experiences in that writing? So there's lots of challenges, but the benefits are huge. And I think, ChatGPT is great. We can talk to it as individuals. I think the real power is behind the scenes on the bigger problems, on healthcare, on governmental stuff as well. A couple of weeks ago, OpenAI and our government signed I think they called it a memorandum of understanding, whatever that means, basically a strategic partnership to adopt more AI into government and into local government. So as citizens, without any choice, really, we're going to get some of the benefit of AI, we hope, providing that's done ethically and safely.
Final question for you, briefly. It's something that isn't going to go away, clearly. It's here to stay. We could probably speak for the rest of the programme about the pros and cons and the ups and downs in it. But if you're listening to this, whether it's for you or perhaps your kids or your grandkids, have you got any advice, Rob, in terms of being able to use AI or using that sort of technology in a safe way?
Yeah, I think the key message is really don't be scared by it, because it is here to stay. There's absolutely no getting around that. I think the key thing, though, is to do your own research and not just use one tool or one model. Look across the different apps that are available and choose the one that's right for your goal or your challenge, and just always challenge that answer that it gives you. I think that's the important message.
Rob, thank you. I said it was your final question, but do you watch Foot by Yard?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you can remember Foot by Yard?
Absolutely. I remember many afternoons sat at university watching Melinda Messenger run around Foot by Yard. Fabulous.
Rob, thank you so much for your time. Rob Gregory there, an AI expert joining me in the studio. What about you then? What do you think?